Welcome back, my friends, to the Corner Castle. I am done decorating for Christmas, so I just kind of wanted to give you a sneak peek. Hope everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving. I know that we did. This is all I've done in my husband's study here, and it's so pretty at night because all this lights up. But that's all I did for the fireplace. Just took my nativity scene, which is pretty much my theme, and some faux garland, and of course my brass candlesticks. And that's what we did for the fireplace. So pretty. But that's all I did in here. Oh, I added a little bit of trees there, and my wood angel there. And yeah, that's it for the study. Then of course you saw the upstairs on the landing. That is the same, nothing changed. And then here in the entryway, of course, all these light up. So pretty. Again, my theme of the nativity scene right there. And then my big painting here. And it's so pretty. I wish I could leave it up all year, but you know, it's Christmas. But it's still pretty. And of course, all these candles all light up. That one's still on, I need to turn it off. And of course, my nativity tree, which has all my nativity scenes in it. I love nativities that are made of cloth. And this one's pretty much a blue and white and silver tree. Let's see. And of course, everything in it is all about Jesus. These are really pretty. Aren't those pretty? I don't remember where I found them, but now I gotta put it back on. I took it off. Well, let's put it back on here. There we go. And then of course my Jesus picture there. Let's see, what else is on here? Lots of mercury glass. There's another little nativity scene. All blue and clear and just a real pretty colors. There's another nativity that's in the tree. Again, made of cloth. And then of course the true story, what the season is all about. What else have I got in here? Oh, here's another nativity scene. Mary and Joseph, and she's holding the baby. It's in the tree. There's the donkey. Oh, and I love these. Another nativity ornament. It's hard to find sometimes these nativity ornaments that are just right for what I want. And then over here is, of course, the brass deer. There's the Sacred Heart. And then I put in a few little pictures, some prints, and then I framed them, and then my little houses. I love to collect these houses. And then some pottery. And again, this is all filled with glass ornaments. Down there is an old antique box. And then those are photo albums there that I've been working on. And then over here, this is the table that usually goes in the center of where the nativity tree is. And that's all I did there. So let's move around. Of course, I put out all my faux fur blankets, throws, with faux rabbit on all the, it gets so cozy in here when we do this. All right, and here, of course, is the big mantle, the main mantle. There's my nativity scene. I had to move this from, it was under the nativity tree, but Tex, my dog, kept wanting to run off with the baby Jesus. So I went ahead and put it up on the mantle. And this all lights up so pretty at night. And then, of course, there is the Virgin Mary That all lights up. It's both the same on both sides. And the same way with here is the brass reindeer with, I gotta move those pots. I took those out. Oh, looks like Tex has been on the table. Need to, just a little brass tray. I love to put things on trays. But this is the same as on the other side. And then of course the piano. So let's move around here. And these, I found these on, I can't remember where I found these. Creighton, one of the vintage looking stores. These all light up at night, which is so pretty. And of course my candelabra, that's always there. That's an antique candelabra. And then I love that painting there, that print. And of course my basket full of blankets and throws that everybody likes to join. And then on this table, just real simple. I just took some that faux garland and cedar and just wrapped it in a big circle. Made a wreath on it for the table. Excuse me. And then I put my big tall floor bases here with these beautiful, I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. And then of course the boys helped me with some of the, I still got a lot to wrap because there's 9 of us. So there's a lot of presents under my tree. And of course this is the main tree. I went mainly with the reds and the greens, which I don't normally do. I did make these bows. I've never put ribbon in my trees, but I liked how this was done. I can't remember who I saw that. So we did that in all the trees, throughout the tree, which I think turned out really good for somebody who never does ribbon. I was pretty proud of myself. Yeah, we went more with the, I got these from Pottery Barn, which I love. Those are so pretty. And look how that glass ornament. There's a lot of glass, a lot of velvet on here. Mainly bronze and reds and greens. That's what I went with. Some golds, like the gold star. My husband hates glitter, so I don't know. I hate to take it back down because then it's going to be all glitter. And then there's my Santa standing here next to the tree with my Bohemian reindeer, which I put out every year. And of course my bench with my faux fur throw there. Now on the table, I really didn't do anything because when I set it for Christmas, I have to be very careful that I have room for the plates. So that's all I did here this year. And I really like it. Very simplistic, yet makes a powerful statement. And then over here is the French cabinet from the 1800s. Up there I put wood reindeer and wood trees. There's something about wood that I just love. And here is the top cabinet with the 3 wise men in this painting. And of course, my crystal cross mercury glass bottles. Here's another nativity scene. And of course, again, all this lights up at night. All my little wood houses. That's my idea of my village. And then down here, the same. Everything in this cabinet is pretty much wood and brass. And then, of course, my baskets. And then my hanging nativity scenes. Because like I said, this year was all about the nativity scene. So that is the great room. And then, of course, I just put a lot of greenery in my big ceramic pots from Mexico. And then in just a little table full of brass deer and the brass candlestick. Let's see, what did I do in the TV room? Nothing really. Did a little bit. Here I put just another wood house with a bottle brush tree, my lamps. Didn't do, and of course again, my faux rabbit pillows. And then this is the center here with my ottoman. Got rid of that table. And let's see, over here, once again, I took a mirror, a vintage style mirror, and put some candles on it. And then over here on this side, I did the same as the other table. One of my wooden houses with the little brass deer. Very simple, yet throws an impact. All right, there's a big TV. And then on my wall over here of all my crosses and Christmas pictures, and of course the Madonna and a church, I just put some candles, and again, those ornaments that light up, those pretty. And of course, I always keep my crosses here. So let's move into the kitchen. This is my, you hear my washer in the background, sorry. This is my, I love hot chocolate. I'm not a coffee drinker, but during the winter, I love hot chocolate. So this is the chocolate bar. And then just some pictures, and that's what I use for my mittens. What do you call it? Oven mitts. And in the center here, this is pretty much nothing really Christmas until you get to the other side. And of course, this all lights up at night. Let's see what's over here. Just some pictures. Oh, made my husband some chocolate chip cookies. I've got some old wooden spoons to put in that thing. And then of course have a lot of my vintage copper, which I also have up here. My vintage copper, I'm painting, as you can see. And then some more of my copper, vintage copper pans, and my old breadboards. And then that's what I keep my fresh vegetables in. It also lets me know, oh, I need some more vegetables for cooking. There's another picture. And then in here over the sink, I put, you know, some greenery. And then let me move this out of the way. I put in some brass bells. So that's about it for that Christmas. And then my spice cabinet. And then over here, I just did a little reindeer scene with pine cones. Down here is my Crocs, my driftwood. And I had my husband put I'm fixing to paint these doors, but I had my husband put these on my pantry doors, which I love, 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 love. Over here, just some pine cones. That's all I did there. Now, here's the big change, is I've been starting to paint. Let me move back. My fireplace. This whole room's gonna get repainted. And that's the fireplace. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a super chocolate brown is what that is. I still gotta finish the bottom here. And then this is stuff that was on the fireplace mantle, or not the mantle, but the hearth. And then this is all gonna be painted. That's gonna be painted. And then over here, I'm stripping the wallpaper, which I need to finish. And then we put up some velvet curtains, which really, really makes this place in here so soft and comfy and welcoming. I don't think after 27 years of living here that I have ever loved this room more as I'm working my way around a wall at a time. And then of course you've seen these chairs. So all I really did in here was just, again, there's my leather bench with some faux fur, my stockings. That's all I did over here with my little reindeer things. And then I did some some Christmas Santas and picture. Same way with over here, but I gotta finish all of this. And then in the window, I just put my antique breadboard. No, it's not called a breadboard, it's called a candle. It's from France. I don't remember exactly what it was used for, but it's like a display for baking. They baked, I think they baked loaves in them, because they've got little compartments. And then of course my crosses. I'm still decorating over here, but it's the beginning. But that's about it. Oh, let me show you this side of the kitchen cabinet, which is right here. And that's my husband's peanuts. He loves his peanuts. And that's all we did. So I really didn't go overboard. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it's been up for quite some time. And that's our Christmas. I hope you enjoyed it. And y'all, if I don't see you before Christmas, have a beautiful Merry Christmas. And may God continue to bless you and your families. And I hope you come back and watch as I take on the fireplace, the sitting room, as we're calling it. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.